move on and to psychological effects, Debbie, of what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, when I hear words that 3 times in 24 hours, that's my rule. When I hear the same words, it's a red alert. And I kept hearing this term, psychological safety. Now, we've been hearing loads from doctors, from people in different areas of science who have tried to speak up, but they haven't been allowed to. They've been censored. Or people that are too scared, nurses that are too scared to speak up, people that are too scared because they may lose their job. Well, we have a new agenda and it's being pushed big time, and it's called psychological safety. So this is just to give you an example from the Ministry of Defence, how psychological safety is playing a part in most major MOD projects. Now, I just want to bring your attention to Dr. Amy Edmondson. She says there, when people believe they can speak up at work, the learning, innovation and performance of their organisations is greater. Teams and organisations in which people believe that their voices are welcome outperform their counterparts. Dr. Amy Edmondson, Novartis Professor of Leadership and Management at Harvard Business School. She's also, she's the pioneer, if you like, of psychological safety. And she was, I don't know how people get awarded these things, but she was awarded something for being the most influential thinker since 2011. I don't know how you measure how you're an influential thinker, but apparently you do. But I've just picked out a very, very short little video for you just to get a flavour of Dr. Amy Edmondson, the pioneer of psychological safety. We'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards.
I heard Lionel Richie tell a fantastic story. He as a young performer, was crippled by stage fright, crippling stage fright. And yet, look at him today, this remarkable performer. And he says the difference between the hero and the coward is not the presence or absence of fear. He says the difference is they both feel fear. The difference is one steps forward and the other steps back.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. I think I often say that psychological safety and courage are two halves of the same coin, right? It's psychological safety is that belief that when I take a risk around here, it won't prove fatal. But I still have to take the risk. And that's where the courage comes in.
So we have to be psychologically safe in order to challenge the narrative, to question, or even to form a different opinion. But that's obviously not what's happening. So let me take you to a McKinsey article. What is psychological safety? They describe psychological safety as the absence of interpersonal fear. Feeling psychologically safe allows people to perform their best at home, school and work. And this is all based on something called the Maslow's hierarchical needs. So you can see there are 5 hierarchical needs. There's physiological needs, which is air, food, drink, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex and sleep. And then you've got safety needs. So people need order in their life, predictability and control. And of course, American see is complete chaos. They need love and belongingness needs. That's human emotions, interpersonal relationships. Esteem needs are the 4th level, and self-actualization. So that's referring to a person's potential. And there's a little pyramid diagram to show you this hierarchical needs system. And I just want to highlight the safety and security, because we're hearing the word safety and security, peace and security all the time. And it says health, employment, prosperity, family and social ability. Now, in my opinion, we have become socially disabled on purpose. So the whole intention is to disable people. But, psychological safety is a big agenda. So it's the words that I want you to listen out for. Even the World Economic Forum have their fingers in the pot of psychological safety. And they say we have a shared belief that team members can feel safe to take chances without being marginalized and punished. Well, that doesn't seem to be happening, does it? Many doctors and many experts are being punished for doing exactly that, speaking out. If we just go back to that WEF slide very quickly, it also says that it's to enable employers to ask employees to ask questions, to make mistakes, to address difficult topics whilst feeling valued and connected. It's time to build trust. Here we go with the rebuilding trust and respect. But it's not just the WEF, it's the Home Office. So I'll just refer you to this, psychological safety for researchers, and they're using the stress bucket. And perhaps I'll maybe do a no smoke with Brian about allostatic stress and allostatic load and how important stress is and how dangerous and how harmful stress is on the body. But psychological safety literally is everywhere, including, of course, our very own NHS. So NHS Providers, psychological safety and why it matters. And the reason that I brought up psychological safety this week is because I heard the buzzwords at the MHRA board meeting. And my question to everyone talking psychological safety is when does psychological safety have a stop sign where people are being discriminated against for trying to speak out, trying to challenge the narrative? So watch out for the words psychological safety.
Yes, good question. Thank you, Debbie.